Welcome everyone to Healing Wednesday, Circle of 12. I'm Lee Carroll.
And I'm Monika Muranyi. Happy May 3. Did you know that once a month we offer this program for free? Of course you know, because this is the free program.
And our Healing Wednesday subscribers receive this 90-minute program that you're watching for free. They get it every single Wednesday of the year. We have special guests tonight. We have questions and answer, of course, discussions, sometimes weird stuff, meditations, and of course, channelings from Kryon. Did I mention weird stuff? I just did. Well, that's fun for me to say, and the reason I can say it's because I am the channeler. Now today, you might not think there's anything weird about channeling at all, but I started channeling Kryon 34 years ago, and back then it was considered weird and very spooky indeed. However, the entire reason for Kryon is to provide love, guidance, and support for humanity during this shift of consciousness we're in.
I think the fact that you've joined us this evening or morning or whenever you're watching is evidence that you're part of the shift where you are making a difference simply by being here on the planet. It's a different way of thinking, isn't it? That you can actually make a difference from just being on the planet. Well, one of the expressions that Kryon often uses that I love is this. It's not about doing, but being. But what does that phrase really mean? Well, Kryon has also said that the highest purpose you can have is to simply be here on the planet and love the God within. So that's the being, loving the God within. Sounds simple, right? Except I think as humans, we love to make simple things complex. And actually, okay, I'll put my hand up because I fall into that category as well. I have a very inquisitive and curious brain, but that's the beauty of Kryon's messages. Kryon speaks to our intellect, but at the same time delivers a third language where we get to bathe in and connect with our soul energy.
Connecting with our soul energy is the premise of the Circle of 12 meditations from Kryon. That is what is different in this new energy, and it's actually kind of funny for me now that Kryon had to, I'm thinking about this, Kryon had to publicly announce and channel that I was going to create these Circle of 12 experiences. Kryon knows me too well, I guess, because had I been told in private, I'm not sure I would have done it. I probably would have said, no way. But thanks to Kryon and his method and the incredible team I now am surrounded by, our Healing Wednesday members have over 120 programs to replay anytime they want.
And one of the things I love about creating the Healing Wednesday program is the ability that we have to deliver Kryon's teachings, the information and the messages online. So to that end, we've created the Chrysalis Academy. And I must say, Lee and I absolutely love the Teaching Wheel Masterclass series. But there's something else coming that I'm kind of excited about. It's our affirmations course, and it's going to be presented later in the year. I love affirmations. I've had countless experiences where I've used affirmations and I've just kind of stood back and then watched miracles unfold. Many people use affirmations to achieve some kind of success, but affirmations can also be used to just simply express your gratitude or to connect with that divine part of you. Last month, I gave an affirmation that I repeated for all 4 weeks. This month, I'd like to give a new affirmation, and it's going to be the affirmation of the month that I will share again for the next 3 weeks. We're going to say that at the beginning of each program, and you're invited to join us and claim it as your own affirmation. We will present the words on the screen so that you can read along, and we're going to say it 3 times. Okay, let's begin by taking a nice deep breath and connect ourselves into this present moment. Release any distractions and thoughts that you might have. And here we go. Dear Spirit, I am a divine creation with a life that is on purpose. Dear Spirit, My magnificence creates a reality for myself that is healthy, steers me to be in the right place at the right time, and gives me wisdom and knowledge to create the perfect solutions for each situation I encounter. Dear Spirit, I intend the best for myself. Dear Spirit, I am aware of the new energy and I claim it for myself, knowing that the love and the light of the Creator shines upon me. It is the light of my own soul. It is the light that I came with. It is the light that changes everything around me.
Dear Spirit, I am a divine creation with a life that is on purpose. Dear Spirit, my magnificence creates a reality for myself that is healthy, steers me to be in the right place at the right time, and gives me wisdom and knowledge to create the perfect solutions for each situation I encounter. Dear Spirit, I intend the best for myself. Dear Spirit, I am aware of the new energy and I claim it for myself, knowing that the love and the light of the Creator shines upon me. It is the light of my own soul. It is the light that I came with. It is the light that changes everything around me.
Dear Spirit, I am a divine creation with a life that is on purpose. Dear Spirit, my magnificence creates a reality for myself that is healthy, steers me to be in the right place at the right time, and gives me wisdom and knowledge to create the perfect solutions for each situation I encounter. Dear Spirit, I intend the best for myself. Dear Spirit, I am aware of the new energy and I claim it for myself, knowing that the love and the light of the Creator shines upon me. It is the light of my own soul. It is the light that I came with. It is the light that changes everything around me.
Thank you, Monika. This is a great way to begin our evening, and we're finding this a very good way, and we're going to be doing it again. We're going to say this affirmation for the rest of the month over the next 3 weeks. At the end of those 3 weeks in June, Monika and I will be presenting our first live and in-person event for the year of 2023. I'm aware I've mentioned this before, and this is the last time we're going to tell you about it. The reason we have said it so many times already is that there are always some who are hearing about this for the first time. Also, I want everybody to know that Monika and I will continue to offer live and in-person events. The number of in-person events we do every year will be fewer, but somehow it makes them extra special.
Absolutely, it makes them extra special. And one of the things that helps to make this particular meeting that we're going to talk about special is because of the place it is. It's called Sedona, Arizona. Those who have been to Sedona already know what a majestic place it is, filled with lots of earth energies and spectacular scenery. I'm aware that some of you of watching have never been. Maybe it's a bucket item list, but I want you to feel included even if you can't attend. I invite you to energetically connect with us because after all, we're all one soul family.
Our conference in Sedona will be a full 5 days with many great things, of course, but the difference I want to tell you about is this one. We're bringing 2 amazing keynote speakers who have never been featured with us before in Sedona. And in a moment, we want you to actually hear from one of our keynote speakers. But first, let's introduce you to who that will be.
Joining us in Sedona, so excited, is going to be Dr. Clint Rogers. He's actually been a guest on Healing Wednesday on 2 previous occasions. His book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, has been translated into nearly 30 languages, and he is carrying on the legacy created by Dr. Naram, who was a world-renowned master healer who studied the ancient secrets from his master in India. We would love to take a moment right now for you to hear personally from Clint about what he will bring to us in Sedona. So tell us what that will be, Clint.
What to expect in Sedona? I think you can expect to have an experience that you'll remember for your whole life. It will be one of those kinds of experiences where all of a sudden it changes the trajectory for the rest of your existence. Why? Because it's founded on love, the love connection. Both the event with Kryon and then afterwards Ancient Secrets, the event we're doing, is based on the most ancient secret of all. The opening quote in my book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, says, "I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you." As the world is changing in such a crazy way, as institutions that were so established are fading away, what will guide you? Will it be fear? Will it be ego? Or will it be love? I'm so excited to be surrounded by hundreds of people that have chosen love. And in that space, have a miracle happen for you. I felt inspired to say this, that I can promise everyone comes, that you will have a miracle major breakthrough. And I'm going to share some things I've never shared before, because now is the time. I love you, and I'm with you, and I'm excited to see you in Sedona. Namaste.
Thank you, Clint. The other keynote will be Matt Kahn. Now, you may be remembering that Matt is one of our guests on Healing Wednesday back in October of 2021. He's one of the most loving people of our age, and he has millions of followers online. He really does. He is the I Love You guy. And in August of 2022, he was on the cover of Forbes magazine. Amazing. He's a living expression of the Creator's divine love. He truly is a perfect fit for a Kryon conference. And the theme of the conference? The love connection, of course.
And of course, there will be others from the Kryon team presenting, plus lots and lots of channeling. Here is where you can get all the information about this wonderful Kryon conference. It's going to be June 1 through to 5, and you can find out on kryon.com/Sedona. That's kryon.com/Sedona. And if you are watching the replay of this and Sedona has come and gone, we mentioned before that we are still doing several events per year. Our one that's coming up in November is going to be Hawaii. That is also going to be very exciting. And like Lee said, we do them every year, so just go to the website, kryon.com or kryonmasters.com, and then you'll be able to see the events that are going to be coming up in the future if you're watching this in the past. That's kind of a fun concept, Lee, being in the future and the past all at the same time.
It's just too confusing. So I really appreciate all of those you watching this way after the fact, and the fact that you're still here and you're still working. And the YouTube library is going to last a long, long time.
As well, yeah.
That's
so
right.
You know what? I'm realizing that it's going to be soon time for a meditation and a channel. Mm-hmm. But I mentioned earlier about Sedona maybe being a bucket item list for some people. So wouldn't it be fun right now, if you don't have a bucket list, to maybe start one? And I have done bucket lists in the past, and it's amazing how many of them come true years after the fact. I mean, I had a bucket item list shoved in a box, didn't open it for years and years, and when I reviewed it, it was amazing how many things came true, how many things was kind of representing the old Monika, where I was like, that didn't happen, but it doesn't matter because I've moved on. And what's your bucket item list things?
If you asked me that some years ago, I would have given you a list too that we have been to. And most of them, I wanted to go to Patagonia. And we did.
We did.
We did. If you'd have said, what's the most unusual thing you've ever done? I think landing at the Cape on a
Cape
Horn on a rubber boat.
Yeah, the Zodiacs.
Yeah, the Zodiacs would have been something I never would have dreamed that I would have done.
Well, here's my bucket item list. I would love to see the penguins in Antarctica.
Yes.
But it's something where Lee's like, no way, I don't want to go down to that cold,
well,
cold.
we almost were there.
We
and
were
saw
almost
penguins.
there.
Yeah.
Anyway, think of some amazing bucket item lists for yourself. And right now, what I'd like to do is go into a meditation and then a channel from Kryon. And so I invite you to close your eyes and engage the inner child and your imagination. We're going to have just the briefest, fun, pretend session. If you could do anything, be anything, go anywhere in this moment, what would that be for you? There are no limits. We are using your imagination, and so your imagination has endless possibilities, infinite things it can do and be and create. And here is the one rule in this imagination that you are creating right now. It has to be fun. It has to be the funnest thing that you have been wanting to do for so long. And in that fun thing that you are creating and imagining and being and doing, I ask you to hear now to all the laughter that is emanating from around you, because the Creator that loves you so much laughs when you do. There is joy throughout the cosmos when you have your joy. And so tune in now through that silent language of the laughter and the joy and the uproarious hilarity that is with you, a part of you. And you can create this at any time, any moment of the day. It's fun to pretend. It's fun to have an imagination. Is it real? I think it is. And so now let us hear from Kryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. This is the first meeting of the month where we again will continue a series that we've been doing for the last 4 weeks. For those of you who have not heard this, it is a series of new energies. Some are calling them tools, others are calling them gifts that are now possible, or perhaps those that are needed in this, the shift. To review the whole premise would be simple. We are in the middle, you are in the middle of a predicted energy shift, predicted by the ancients so long ago, predicted by those on the planet just recently. When I came in 34 years ago, this was the reason, to prepare you and tell you what might be coming. And what might be coming came. And although I told you back in 1989, it indeed occurred, and you chose to make this shift at the precession of the equinoxes in 2012. And subsequent to that time, things are starting to move in an odd direction on this planet to many. When I say odd direction, I mean that this is not your grandfather's world. This is not the way it used to be. The energy today is not a repeat of the energy from the last generation or even the generation before. And that is what used to happen. Almost like a train around a track, history would repeat itself and would repeat itself. And the same kinds of things would occur. Indeed, there are more people here than ever before, more humans on the planet. Indeed, there is higher tech. But the old energies still could have repeated and repeated. One of the prophecies, of course, that you all knew if you're a senior is that you would not be here today. That by the year 2000, something would happen. Even some of your scriptures gave you that scenario as a potential. But instead, you are here. And you are here on purpose in a new energy that is starting to work on this planet truly in miraculous ways. There is a cleanup starting to happen. And in that, there are responses to those of the dark energy, those who are invested in keeping things the same as they were 100 years ago, and they're pushing for that, if you've noticed. They don't want integrity. They don't want rights. They don't want equalities. They don't want peace. All there for you to look at. Check it out. Who are the ones who are pushing back the hardest? They are the ones who are invested in the old energy. This new energy we speak of is the energy of kindness, compassion, love, understanding, peace for humanity, and coherence for the planet. You all know this is possible. Trading fairly with each other, sharing resources, having enough. New technology starting to occur so the planet is not then devoid of some resources because you need electricity or certain kinds of things. It's all coming. It's all coming. And dear ones, this is what we call the shift. In the last 4 weeks, we gave you 4 items. In the circle of 12, they were presented as well. We're going to do the same thing tonight in the circle of 12. This particular item, number 5 of 8, is something it may seem like we have spoken of before, and we have, but perhaps not in this way. Another premise. If you're going to have this evolution of humanity, evolution of a higher consciousness occur, there are some things that the old souls should have. And if they have these things, this will be a quickening of higher energy for the planet, of higher vibration, you might say, of higher thinking, of evolved consciousness, you might say. Something you're going to begin to see in leadership and in business. Much more cooperation, a lot less competition and hate. That's the new energy. And what you're going to find within that mixture is something you really want. You're going to say, this works. We didn't think it would, but it does. People are starting to agree. There is more peace here. There's less anxiety here. There's a lot less fear here. There's actually hope for the future. And you're beginning to see that. And this is different. How long have you lived on this planet where almost every day there'll be somebody who tells you we're doomed? All of you are doomed. All of us are doomed, for the future is not bright. How many of your movies show a not bright future? The answer is a lot of them. How are you programmed to see where the planet is going? Programmed? Your movies, they program you. Your parents, they program you. Your institutions of spiritual knowledge, they program you. What are they telling you might happen or is going to happen? What are they setting you up for that's fearful? Dear ones, that is not the future. That's an old idea of the future, based upon old prophecies, old energy, and old earth, and the idea that history has to repeat itself yet again. What if all that were different? What if instead there is peace on this planet? There are resources you don't expect. There is health for entire continents coming that you don't expect because of inventions and discoveries that you don't expect. All of that is what I see. Here is a tool that is something that is very needed. It's also a gift for some who don't have it. I will give it a name now. It's different from the last time I talked about compassionate action. This one is called automatic compassionate action. What does that mean? It's a countenance, if you want to call it. It's an attitude, if you want to call it that, of an old soul, a light worker, when confronted with confrontation. When something is targeted to you, what do? Normally, you defend. That is an old energy concept, which then, of course, leads to further defense argument and dysfunction. We have spoken of compassionate action before, but not necessarily that which is targeted toward you as a result. Someone accuses you of something, or looks at you and tells you something that is unpleasant about yourself, true or not true. What is your reaction? What if it becomes automatic compassionate action? Compassionate action is compassion for the situation, even if it's an unusual one like this, and then an actionable item that accompanies the compassion. So let's put this forward. You have something that is in front of you, perhaps which is an accusatory attitude. And instead of a reaction, you observe in your own mind what is taking place. The first thing you might realize is that the person in front of you is not themselves. They're having a bad day, or they're angry. What is their issue that you can help them with, apart from what they've said? What can you say that would disarm anything that they have said? You don't have to agree with them if they call you a name, but you could be compassionate to them. I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry you're having a bad day. Perhaps we should discuss this later, or I can feel what you're saying. I can feel that something is wrong here. You're not feeling well. I can feel something in you. What can we talk about it? What can we do? Everything comes back. It's a compassionate action, even in confrontation. Could you see how that in itself might disarm even war? Do you see how that in itself might be an answer to so many things? You're going to hear more about this in the Circle of 12. I want you to think about it, how this might work as we discuss even more of it a bit later. Dear ones, I present this particular item as a tool to be exercised, practiced, and used. But for some of you, it'll be a gift because you cannot even imagine that that would be you. It can be. It will be, if you choose it to be. Automatic, compassionate action. No matter what, the first thing you do is have compassion in the situation. I'm crying in love with humanity. And so it is.
And with those beautiful energies from Kryon still swirling around, I invite you, bring your awareness back into your body. And if you've had those precious eyes of yours closed, I invite you to open your eyes. And as we become more integrated into our body and our awareness is more present, we're going to move into the next part of our program, and I am super excited that we have our dear friend Marilyn Harper joining us. But guess what? Normally this is where I say, are you there? Because we're connecting through Zoom, but Marilyn's here in our studio. Woohoo!
Yay!
Always so wonderful when we have our guests come to us in our studio.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about Marilyn, and this has changed since the last time she was here. Marilyn Harper is the architect and originator of the Channeler's Method, and another modality that she refers to as holographic healing. The Channeler's Method is an online step-by-step approach that teaches you how you can access your own information. Holographic healing is a form of remote viewing that she specializes in for identifying and healing physical aliens. You know what, folks? She does that too. We're not going to talk about that, but that's physical ailments. Both methods are a result of Marilyn's own awakening that happened following her walk-in experience.
Now, her walk-in experience was quite dramatic. She went into the operating theatre as one person and came out as someone completely different. It took several years for her to integrate this experience and then realise a divine plan was unfolding. Now, in 1998, she realised she had the ability to see into people's bodies. She was able to sense areas of imbalance, and then she could align them back into balance again. In 1999 is when she began channeling Adironda and the Council of Light. And it was through the channeling that she was able to incorporate the techniques into holographic healing. This then allowed Marilyn the ability to teach others that they too can channel healing energy. So today, she offers both holographic healing and the Channeler's Method, among other programs that she and her business partner, Joy Roby, have developed.
Well, holographic healing has helped hundreds of practitioners and their clients overcome health challenges. Many have been able to avoid surgery, some have had their eyesight restored, and broken bones have mended faster than expected, and so much more. In fact, using her own techniques, are you ready for this? Marilyn has done what doctors told her was impossible. Her once enlarged heart has miraculously returned to within the normal range. One of Marilyn's gifts is that she is able to teach her students how they can enhance their own innate abilities, increase their intuition, and connect with their own inner guidance. The Channeler's Method and holographic healing is not just for channelers and healers. Anyone and everyone can access their own intuitive gifts and guidance. Marilyn's mission is to let others know that everything is possible. Everything is possible. Have you heard that before? Marilyn, welcome back to Healing Wednesday show. Yay.
Yay. It is my pleasure to be here.
So let's talk about those aliens.
They're waiting for us already.
They're waiting for us already. There is so much to talk about, but truly, what I want to know is there's something new going on, and it's called Channeler's Method.
Yes.
And we have known you for so long as one who can teach channeling. And you've had these courses that you've had going for so long that are about how to channel even if you don't think you can. And suddenly, there's this one in this new energy. So can you give us a little background of how that happened, what's new, and what's the difference?
Well, thank you for asking. It's the channeler's method is completely different than anything we've ever done before. It is a totally online course that is like a business in a box, if you want. It's an online course. It goes step by step. This all started with you, Lee.
It's my fault again.
Yes, it is your fault again. Yeah. We were in Big Sky, Montana, and Lee was talking about having a discussion and teaching a class about channeling. And he looked at me and said, well, Marilyn, you have a, kind of a step-by-step approach to teaching channeling, right? And I thought, well, yes, I do.
And just like that,
there it was born.
The course was born.
Exactly. And we developed how to channel, even if you think you can't, which we've done live all over the world. And it is still a live class, 2 days now, instead of 1 day, and it's a 2-day course. But it's much, much different than the channeler's method. Now, the channeler's method is really kind of what I used to develop holographic healing, I believe. Because the method is all online. It takes you step by step. It's a self-help, self-progress, do it at your own pace kind of course. Now, I had never done anything like that before in my life. And Joy, my business partner, Joy Roby, she taught me how to break those lessons up into smaller chunks, into smaller segments, so they would be a bit more manageable, and you don't have to spend 2 hours at a time. You can spend 10 minutes. And we go through the history of channeling, which really dates back 15, 20,000 years ago, or before. We go through famous channels. We go through and go into the different types of channeling in a greater detail, because the types of channeling, everybody's different. Everybody can channel, first of all. Everybody can heal, second of all. And when you blend the two things together, that's really what happens in that capacity. It sort of, you connect with your own channeling energy. You connect with your own guidance system, and they actually lead you in how to work with the human body. And so the channeler's method is a true step-by-step approach. It takes every different segment of the channeling and develops it in a way that you can do it. We've got a workbook that you can actually work along with the recordings. And so far, it's been so spectacular. It's, people have told me, well, in the How to Channel Even If You Think You Can't class, we spend the whole afternoon practicing. We normally don't tell people that ahead of time because they get a little freaked out by it. Too late. Oh well. But we do spend the whole afternoon practicing and really get into that. And we do a whole download of your channeling software. And I'm going to do a little bit of that here today, just a little, before we conclude. And in the channeler's method, we do the same download of your channeling software. We do the same approach, only without the one-on-one practice, but we show you how you can develop your own practice team to practice that.
I wonder, what is this download of what software? What is this? I never knew about this. So,
well, Adironda's very literal.
Yes,
very
I know.
much of the bottom line.
So explain that.
So what we do, I know this really sounds woo. If you wanted to get woo-woo, here we go.
Yes, here we are.
So in your body, somewhere in your innate abilities, there is your own program, your own ability to channel and connect, as there is your own ability to heal your own body or to heal other bodies. That's easier. And but in that capacity, Adironda is very literal, very bottom line. Adironda is the spokesbeing for the council I channel. If you don't know about that, adironda.com, look it up. But it's what they do is they find your channeling software wherever it may be in your body, and they actually remove it, and your guides will come in and replace it with the upgraded, intentional, creative aspect. Intention is everything, isn't it? And so with that intention, they actually upgrade your ability to channel or see or sense into someone's body. And that's the whole premise. We started doing that in the early 2000s, right after we started channeling. And that was kind of when I thought, wow, if we can do that. We called it dimensional healing at the time, which developed into holographic healing. And it was just amazing the kind of information you could get to when you combined the ability to channel and the ability to place the body back into physical alignment, because your body wants to be in alignment. It wants to be connected in such a way that you can heal yourself.
I find it fascinating, Marilyn, that what you said, our body wants to balance, and there's so many automatic processes that happen. Like when you cut yourself, platelets form and the blood comes and it forms a scab, and you heal without even having a belief system, without saying, you can do it, I can do it, I can stop my blood from bleeding. It's automatic. And so how do you then describe what you're doing? Because to me, I think that's the way of the future. We will get to that place where we're automatic, where we put ourselves into balance and we don't have disease come. But kind of that's a bit of a step from what your body automatically does to our intention working with it. So what's your understanding?
Well, first of all, you have to realize that the body does respond to your intention. If you think you are sick, then you're going to be sick. If you think that you can heal, then at least you have a chance to heal. And just like the body automatically, heals the cut, stops the bleeding, begins to heal over, that is exactly the same premise with holographic healing. Is you take the body's own ability to heal, the own ability to want to be in alignment. And if you have been ill for a long time, because some people are, they spent their lifetime being ill. I know that in our coaching class with holographic healing, we've worked with many people that have been ill for a great deal of time. And our question to them is, what are you getting from this? What is your benefit to not accept that your body can heal itself? To not accept that your body can move back into a place of alignment? And it's amazing when you let go of that source of your own identity of being sick and realize that your body wants to support you, just like the universe wants to support you, just like your guides want to support you.
What are some of the more outstanding examples you've had of clients that you've worked with or people that have become practitioners? What's some of the kind of stories that just lift your heart so much?
Well, we have someone that is a channel, and in the Channelers Academy, which is another level, but that's for another time. And she is also a certified holographic healer. And she was working with someone that was in intense pain in her back, just, couldn't get out of bed for weeks, months, and it was getting worse and worse. She worked on her, took her back into her childhood in this lifetime to see where the progress was, where it was initially set up, and then healed that session, that part. And she went from a pain level, and this was in an hour and a half. She went from a pain level of 11 on a scale of 1 to 10 to 1.
Wow.
And it was so, and she's never gone back to that pain again.
Wow. Now that's what is amazing, because people go, sure, okay, you can concentrate for a little bit, you can reduce the pain, but then it comes back. But to hear it never coming back,
it's amazing. I tell story after story. I have a client that we're actually working on a book, Holographic Healing, One Woman's Journey. And she was supposed to have back surgery. And we went in and rebuilt the discs in her back and rebuilt her spine, and she didn't have to have the surgery.
that's incredible.
So tell us, do you have any outstanding channeling students?
Yes.
Yes.
I do have outstanding channeling students. When you're channeling, and the way I teach it is to actually find how you receive your information, not how I channel, it's how you channel. And that's the difference between our Channeler's Method and How to Channel Even If You Think You Can't and the Channeler's Academy. Most other courses teach you to channel in their way. And what we do is we help you find that niche, that avenue right there, that sweet spot that your guides can connect with you. You know, your frequency is helping you raise your we help you raise your frequency, so the guides that are looking for a messenger here on this planet will match that frequency and then work into that in that capacity. And I could go on and on. We've got, I can't remember how many channels we have now that are professional channels that are making their living doing channeling, that are making their living, and some of them have become medium channels or channel mediums. Some of them are healing channels. Some of them are, I've got a client that in our first course, How to Channel Even If You Think You Can't, I can't tell you story after story how many people have actually gone into their practice session and thinking, oh, I can't do this at all. And they come forth with brilliant information. I will always think of this one guy. He was sitting at the back of the room the whole time during the whole class, crossed his arms, not engaged, that person.
Yes.
And when it came to yeah, exactly. When it came to practicing, he thought, I cannot do this. And he was still arms crossed and almost trembling. So I saw this, and I came and put my hand on his back, and I said, that's okay. Just take a deep breath. Just say the very first thing, connect in with your guide, say the very first thing that comes to mind. And he said, fear. That's all I can think of is fear, 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 fear. This is not working. This is fear. I want to run out of the room. This is not working. There's too much here. This is not working. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. and I thought, okay, well, he actually stood up, and he was a pretty big guy, and I was a little nervous. and then I found out that his partner that he was practicing with had not been out of the house for 3 years.
Wow.
She was afraid to leave her house. She had been mugged and had not left her house in 3 years. So he was picking up her fear.
Right.
I know, and that I could go on and on and on and on and on.
But he didn't even know that he was channeling the information for the partner.
Right, and he kept thinking, just relax, it's fear, just relax, it's okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about one of the best healings of all. Now, of course, I'm biased, but without going into details, you had a health challenge. Now, there is an axiom that I think most healers know, channelers know, and that is we cannot channel for ourselves. It's just one of those things, and healers often cannot heal themselves. There's many filters and blocks, and we can go into it, and it would be a nice discussion for another show. But you did it.
Yes, I did.
You did it.
Yes, I did.
Tell us about it.
Well, I was diagnosed about a year and a half, 3 years ago now, with my heart was, part of it was enlarged over the other part, which, that's wasn't a huge deal. But then I had, without going into the whole thing, I had a wreck with a giant trash can. I'm not going to give you all the details. I don't call it an accident because I don't believe in accidents, but I ended up intubated and in the hospital. Most of you probably don't know that, but I was in the hospital.
Now they do.
Now they do.
Now they
ICU.
do.
Secrets are out.
Yeah.
And the doctors said that I would be on 24/7 oxygen probably for the rest of my life. And I said, that is not my reality. And
I love that you did that, because it was, and I want to just stress, Marilyn's kind of glossing over it, but there was a point in that time in your hospital where it was tentative as to whether you were going to stay on the planet or go. I mean, it was serious.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember making that decision.
Secrets
Yes.
are out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yes.
were all here
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
There are no secrets on Healing
And I love
Wednesday.
that you kept saying it's not my reality.
Yeah. And, it's one of those things that then they said that I'd be on 24/7 oxygen. Well, I just said, that is not my reality. And I said, well, I'm going to shrink my heart back down to the normal size. And they said, that's impossible. And I said, that is not my reality. So I just did holographic healing. I channeled my own guidance, and I worked on my heart pretty much every day, almost every day before I got out of bed. And I just saw it in perfect order. I didn't visualize it changing or shrinking or doing all that. I just felt what it would feel like to step out of the house without my oxygen. As you can see, I've done that. And step out and hear the doctor say, what's going on? Your heart is normal. And I just kept focusing on that reality, that vision, and that frequency. And I kept loving my heart, loving my organs, all of that. And the last time I went to the doctor, they they do a thing where they measure your heart through some kind of machinery. And the girl kept remeasuring it. And she was comparing it to the last time and comparing it again. And I said, what's going on? She said, just checking. And when I got to my doctor, he said, I don't know how this happened, but your heart is near, I would call it normal, but I just can't do that.
Wow.
That's not my
That's right.
reality.
Right. He's not allowed to do that because it's not his
It's
training.
not his reality.
But God bless him to having given you that information.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, what I would like to do now is to ask Marilyn to take us through an exercise where we can connect with our own inner guidance. Would that be okay?
I would love to. This is something that we do in the Channeler's Method.
Perfect.
And we're going to do a quickie here. Is that okay?
Great. Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, this is a quickie. So we're going to go in and we're going to go out. So take a deep breath and center your energy. Just with your intention, just center your energy. Then I'm going to ask you to visualize your pineal gland. That pineal gland is at the very center of your brain. It's kind of burgundy in color and looks a little like a pine cone. And just go right there. And if you can't go there, just visualize it. Visualize that pineal gland. And you've got it there. And if you sense it or feel like there's some white dust or powder on it, we're just going to bring in a little whisk broom and brush that off and let your angels, your own guidance, take away that little white dust. And so it's all nice and glistening burgundy. Let's take a deep breath. Take another deep breath and just feel that pineal and give thanks for that pineal gland. It works so hard, it's the most protected gland of the body. And right in front of that, about a few inches, is your third eye. So we're going to draw that direct connection from your pineal to your third eye. And we're going to activate your third eye. If you feel like it's kind of blocked, just circle that third eye 3 times and just pull that blockage out. You know, everything is intention. Take another deep breath. Then just put your fingers over your third eye, because they're going to act a little bit like an antenna. And then put the other fingers over your heart. And just feel those connected. And we're asking your heart to let you know through your pineal and your third eye if there's anything that's out of balance right this minute that you can place in balance. Anything that's out of balance right this minute. Ah, good. And then just open your hand that's on the third eye, as though you're receiving something. And just say, yes, I am willing to be in balance. I am willing to be aligned. You can say this inside of your mind, because we're speaking to the inside of your cells. I am willing to accept instant alignment through my own guidance system. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. And then sigh it out. One more time, move your body around, take a deep breath, sigh it out, and come back to the present. There, so that was a quickie. We go into it in a little more detail in the Chandler's method.
How am I supposed to come out of that and be succinct?
I found
that assumes I was succinct before.
I'm still in that space,
Yeah.
but it was effortless. I loved your guidance because I didn't have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to give commands about my blood, my liver, my anything.
Yeah.
I was just trusting that energy that I can still feel now was doing it automatically.
Did anything come up to you that you wanted to put back into alignment?
What came up was my blood that was circulating through my body, and that was to align it. You know, we always have insulin that comes up and goes down, and we have our pH levels come up and go down. So it was focusing on that, but then I just kind of went, well, I don't even need to give any more thought to it than just, well, if it's the blood, then put it into balance, and that's it.
Yeah.
I got a great message.
What did you get?
And the message was, doesn't have anything to do with anything except my body said, remember, we want to balance.
Nice, nice.
So we're always running to the doctor and saying, balance me. And how many of us remember that? The body wants to balance.
Yes.
It really does. And that's the whole premise of holographic healing. And then to connect through the pineal, to connect to your own guidance is, of course, the premise of the Chandler's method.
Beautiful. Well, that was exquisite. I encourage you to go and take a look at everything that Marilyn has to offer. There's more than just the Channeler's Method and the holographic healing, of course, but those two modalities are a wonderful place to start, whatever level you're at. And where is the best place they can go to find that information, Marilyn?
Adironda.com, at the Channeler's Method. Just email info@adironda.com.
Perfect.
It's all there.
Wonderful. Well, we are now going to take a 10-minute break. Go and have a look at adironda.com, and then we'll see you back here for the Circle of 12. Well, welcome back, everyone. How wonderful it was to have Marilyn with us yet again, but this time she was in the studio with us.
What a treat that was.
Absolutely.
I just loved it.
I know. And add her onto her channel. She is so fun and wonderful, heart-opening. And as you can see, Marilyn, she is so fun and wonderful and heart-opening. It's no wonder that Adironda and Marilyn hooked up. And there's so many things that Marilyn has to offer.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, what we'd like to do now, move on to a program we call Miracle Moments.
Yay.
It's about celebrating the miracles of others, and it's about connecting and sending love and compassion to those who are asking for a miracle. As awakened old souls, this is something we can do, I believe. Consciousness is energy, and our prayers for others are very powerful. But before we create a group coherence yet again and send energy, I'd like to ask Monika to share a little miracle moment that has happened to one of our Circle of 12 members.
I would love to do that, Lee. But before I do, I thought I would give everyone the definition of what a miracle is according to Oxford Dictionary. Okay, here we go. Miracle. A surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. Well, here's what I love about that definition and why I'm sharing it, is because given that we are all divine, I mean, every single human on the planet has divinity inside, it means we're all miracle workers. And it means we have so many miracles to celebrate, right? Here is a fun one that I want to celebrate and share with you as given to us in the Healing Wednesday membership portal. It's a great example of how we actively co-create our reality. Because remember, we're miracle workers. It comes from Denise, and Denise says, I listened to the 111th session while on holiday in Hawaii. That night, before going to sleep, I thought to myself, I could really do with a slightly more comfortable bed than this one. And then the following morning, as I was taking a shower, I thought to myself, hey, I could really do with an option to sit down in the shower. As I was getting dressed, my husband noticed a leak from our bathroom ceiling. We immediately informed room service, and within 30 minutes, we had moved rooms to one that had a slightly more comfortable bed, and there was a shower seat in the bathroom. Spirit works in mysterious ways. I could now do with a completely healthy body. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that miracle moment, Denise. And let's now work on creating that wonderful, healthy body. Beautiful. So what I'd like to do now is ask everyone to join in with me as we create a field of coherence as the divine miracle workers that we are. And in that field of coherence, we're going to focus our attention to those who have requested prayers for help. And the reasons for that can be so many various reasons. It could be help for themselves, it could be help for their loved ones, it could be physical, emotional, spiritual, mental. All kinds of prayers are being requested. And as the divine miracle workers that we are, we can have a difference using compassionate action, as Kryon gave us in the earlier channel. Here is the action item. In this soul family, we are going to feel, sense, imagine, visualize a benevolent outcome for all those who are requesting prayers of help, whether it's past, present, or future, and all those on the planet requesting prayers for help. Let us visualize, feel, sense, imagine a benevolent outcome for them. And I remind you that you too are included in this. Feel, sense, imagine, or visualize benevolent outcome for yourself. And as we hold on to this field of coherence, let us now invite the Kryon entourage.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon. Come a little closer. This is called the Circle of 12. The 12 is representing that which I will call the structure of the universe. And we've said this before. It's not a group of 12 masters. It's not actually a group of 12 anything. It has to do with the beauty of the way things are put together in a spiritual way. Divisible by 3, 4, 6. All of these things would be the structure of spirituality. The circle, the unbroken circle, no beginning, no end. Combined with the structure of the 12, you have the circle of 12. That would mean everything that is spiritual, the universe itself, the Creator's toolbox. And that is perhaps obtuse for many. But we have done that on purpose in these years that we have called it the Circle of 12. And the reason is this, because the very things that we discuss here are not things discussed before. They may be obtuse as well. The idea, perhaps, of crossing a bridge into that which is a place you're not supposed to go. At least that's what you've been told by spiritual leaders for eons. You're not allowed to cross the veil or cross that barrier into your soul. That has been reserved for those who pass and come back. Why would that be? The energy of the times is why that would be. Low energy creates low energy rules. High energy creates rules for mastery. The masters, as you know, crossed that barrier repeatedly. The masters who walked this planet were known for their miracles. They were known for all the things they did were so far beyond what a human being could do that they were worshipped to this day. What if I told you that what they did was something all of you could do if the energy was higher? If you had the energy that they had or they were broaching, even a portion of it, you could control the physics that they control with your consciousness alone. That's how powerful you are. The energy of the physics to do that has always been here. That's why the mastery of the planet has always been here. There are always a few masters walking this planet, dear ones, even if you have not been informed of who they might be. They're here. There have always been those who can do what appears to be miracles. And now it's your turn. We do not present this as anything blasphemous, but might appear to be. Indeed, it might appear to be to those who don't want to hear it, who say it's impossible, who say perhaps it's even a fraud. I will tell you the truth. There are those right now discovering these tools and gifts, creating their futures, actually designing their reality, healing their bodies, and doing things that are indeed miraculous. And that is the message, and always has been, of the day, of the Circle of 12. Now it is possible for you to visit pieces and parts of your soul. Why shouldn't it be? That Merkaba of yours, that vehicle that is spiritual, that you live in, is with you now. It's here. You don't really have to travel anywhere for it. It's always been with you and here. But it's a multidimensional vehicle, and you live in 4 dimensions. So it's not been anything you think about. It's not been anything you practice. It's apart from your reality. But it doesn't have to be. Not anymore. Tonight's Circle of 12, like the others, will be us crossing the bridge into that vehicle, which is your soul, for you then to meet the higher self yet again and receive a tool or a gift, whatever you call it, that is new, that is something you need for the energy of the time. And the energy of the time is the shift, when there is a great awakening on this planet taking place. And that awakening isn't apart from you. It may seem like it is, but it isn't. It's you awakening. It's others awakening to a larger truth, to an understanding of love. It's a true understanding of who you are in the scheme of things, a magnificent representation of the divine plan of a creator. That's who you are. That really is who you are. And you may think, well, that's a bit grandiose. That's what you've been told, dear ones. It is grandiose. You were born magnificent on this planet. All souls are beautiful beyond belief. And this will eventually be the truth that rules on this planet when you realize you're all from the same Creator with the same love. It will start to extend lives. It'll start to change what you think you can do and then what you do. So let's start it now yet again. I want you to understand we're going across this bridge. And that bridge from the known to the unknown is going to your soul. And that's where we're going to be for a little while longer. Let's go there now. Take my hand. Oh, we cross this bridge together as we've done more than 100 times before, and we go through the mist, and everything lights up. This is your magnificent soul that we are in at this moment. And there are those who say, what's the difference from soul to soul to soul? You can't tell because they all shine like the sun. They're beautiful creations. No beginning and no end of who you are. Human being, you're only here for a moment, but your soul is forever. And that's who you are, truly. And you sit right now in who you are. And you go through a doorway. It's not even a door, it's just a portal. You move through the threshold, into this room where there are many gifts and tools stacked around with your name on them. And in this place, you're about ready to receive a gift, a tool, and you already know what it is. We have talked about it. Automatic compassionate action. How you react to everything. So the first thing, how do you react? All humans are different. What you've been told, what you've been trained, what you've worked on, how you feel you are. But all of you could use this because it doesn't really come with the old energy. It is a new energy tool. It's how you conceive everything around you as it unfolds. regardless of the drama that it might be there, or the confusion that might be there, or the confrontation that might be there. It's how you react. You're at dinner with the family, and the family doesn't agree with you. And they start criticizing you. What do? What is your first reaction? What if it was automatic, compassionate action for every single one in the family who you know has not then been exposed to the same thing you have, the awakening? They don't see a color world yet. They're still in black and white, and you see color. What do you say to them? That automatic compassionate action will then control what you do next. It could be as simple, no matter what they say, it could be simple. I love you. Despite what you might think of me right now, I want you to know, dear one, I love you. I want you to try that someday and see what happens. It will disarm everything. They won't know what to do next. They just won't. They are in this black and white world, and they have the same opportunity that you did or could to see something different, and you just might be the catalyst. When they see how you are reacting, automatic, compassionate action. It doesn't just work in confrontational situations. It works in all situations. When you're making decisions, life decisions, when you're with groups of people who are also trying to figure things out, perhaps very, very big things that they're trying to do, even the smallest things. Dear ones, this is how you think. What is automatic for you? Let's give you this gift so that you'll start being able to understand it and use it and practice it. Standing before you is this beautiful golden entity, which is you. And we have told you this before. Your higher self. How do you want to see this? This is the bigger you. This is the real you. This is the eternal you. This is the you that's always the same. We'd like to do another program, perhaps on the higher self alone, so you would understand how it relates to the human being, the self that you think you are. This higher self has always got its hand out to integrate with you. And in this new energy, the integration is even more powerful than ever before. But right now, today, this beautiful higher self glows. You can almost not tell what starts and stops. Angelic it is, beautiful it is, takes your breath away. Hands you the package, and you take it, and it goes right into you. And you didn't have to ask, you didn't have to say yes. Here is a gift that is given to you freely because you stand there. Some of them you have to say yes for. This one you did not. What are you going to do with this? And the answer is to begin to practice it. But the more you do, the more it sticks, and the more it'll be automatic. And what you're doing right now is changing your personality. And you're changing your personality so that it is more coherent with the energy of the earth, the energy of Gaia, since that which was the precession of the equinox, with the energy of the higher self, with the energy of the Creator. That's what you're doing. See it as a beautiful gift, dear ones, beautiful. I want you to stay and understand how this might change you and all around you for the future. Automatic, compassionate action. You'll be a different person. And you're going to love it. I'm crying in love with humanity. Please stay for a little while and enjoy this beautiful energy. And so it is.